What is the OET? The Occupational English Test, OET, is a test run by Cambridge Box Hill and is designed for the healthcare sector. It's split into 4 subtests: listening, reading, writing and speaking. So as you can see, in this respect, it's exactly the same as the IELTS. So the big question is the OET easier than the IELTS? Well, the simple answer to that is no. Both the IELTS and the OET test your proficiency in English to the same standard. The tests themselves are equally hard. However, while the context of the reading and listening texts in the IELTS and speaking and writing IELTS tasks are incredibly varied, anything from space travel to football, in the OET, the material is based around healthcare. This means that whilst also giving you the opportunity to learn and practice the kind of language you'll need every day at work, the test tasks themselves are designed to help you prove that you have the right level of English for work in the field of health or to study further in the field of health. Let's look at each of the OET subtests in more detail. The OET listening subtest. Whereas the IELTS has 4 subsections for the listening, which is split into 2 listening texts about general English, such as asking for personal details when joining a gym or listening to a museum talk, and 2 listening texts on academic English, for example, a group of students discussing a project they're working on and a lecture about film studies. The OET listening is based entirely around healthcare situations, the kinds of things that you would encounter at work. It's split into 3 parts. Part A is when you'll hear consultation extracts. You'll hear 2 consultations between a healthcare professional and a patient. The consultations are not connected. This part tests your ability to identify specific information, for example, the nature of an injury, the duration and its effects. You'll get 12 questions times 2 because you have 2 extracts to listen to, and you'll get gap fills to complete the healthcare professional's notes using the information you hear. Each extract is about 5 minutes long, so about 10 minutes in total, and there's a total possible score available of 24 points. Part B are short workplace extracts. So whereas before you heard a healthcare professional and a patient, this time you will only hear healthcare professionals talking together. This time you'll hear 6 workplace extracts. It could be, for example, a team briefing, a handover session, or a professional discussion between colleagues. This part assesses your ability to identify the detail, gist, opinion, or purpose of the extract. Each extract gives you 3 multiple choice answers. They're about a minute long, so times 6, that's 6 minutes in total, and there's a total possible score of 6 points. Part C, you'll hear interview and presentation extracts. Again, there are 2 different extracts on 2 different healthcare topics. One will be an interview between a journalist and a healthcare professional, and the second will be an extract from a presentation given by a healthcare professional. The 2 extracts are not connected and each lasts about 5 minutes, so 10 minutes in total. There are 6 multiple choice questions and there's a total possible score of 12. Let's move on to the OET reading subtest. If you've tried the IELTS before, you'll know how varied and how long the text can be. The skills they're looking for are really very academic skills, skimming and scanning and more careful reading. The OET is similar in some respects, but rather than focusing purely on academic skills, it focuses on practical skills that you need at work. For example, finding the correct dosage, learning about an update to workplace policy when dealing with chaperones, or reading about a healthcare topic that's making the news. It's split into 3 sections. Part A is all about expeditious reading, and you get 15 minutes for this. You'll be given 4 extracts from the same healthcare topic, for example, pneumonia in young children. The text will be the kind of text that you would read with a patient in front of you. Perhaps, for example, you want to double-check a medication pathway or find out if a particular drug has any contraindications. So you read some information to find out more or to double-check what you already know. This time there are 20 questions in total, so you have to be efficient in your reading. Once the 15 minutes are over, this part of the test will be taken away. The kind of questions you could get here are matching, sentence completion, or short answer questions, and there's a total possible score of 12. Reading Part B are short workplace extracts, and Part B and Part C are combined together time-wise, and you get 45 minutes for both. In Part B, you'll be given 6 workplace extracts, for example, an email to nursing staff outlining a change to dress code, an update to a safety feature for a piece of equipment, or guidelines on how to handle a certain situation. This part assesses your ability to identify the detail, gist, opinion, or purpose of the extract. Each extract is between 100 to 150 words long, and they're not connected to each other. There are 3 multiple choice answers per extract, and there's a total possible score of 6. Now, Part C is a little bit more like the IELTS reading tasks in that it's much longer. This time, of course, the topics are always healthcare related, and they are healthcare interest texts, the kind of text that you would read out of professional interest or professional development. You'll be given 2 extracts on healthcare topics, and again, they're not connected. They could, for example, be an opinion piece on the efficacy of a vaccine rollout, or the need to do more to prepare for a new pandemic. Each text is around 800 words long, and as I said, it's a kind of text that you would read for professional interest or development. There are 8 multiple choice questions per extract, and there's a total possible score of 16. The OET reading and listening subtests are the same for all professions, but the speaking and the writing are different. They change depending on your own healthcare profession. The OET writing subtest is 45 minutes long in total. You'll be given a set of case notes, and your task is to write a letter based on the information given in the case notes. The kind of letters that you could be asked to write include a referral letter, a letter of transfer, a letter of discharge, perhaps a letter to advise or inform a patient, carer or group, sometimes used in pharmacy, veterinary science, and occasionally for speech pathology and occupational therapy. Or it could be a written response to a complaint, radiography. You will be given 5 minutes reading time, and then 40 minutes to write the letter. You'll still be able to see and refer to the case notes during this time. How is it assessed? Performance is scored against 6 criteria and receives a band score for each criterion. Purpose, whether the purpose of the letter is immediately apparent to the reader and sufficiently expanded in the course of the letter. Content, whether all the necessary information is included and accurate for the reader. Conciseness and clarity, whether unnecessary information is omitted so that the letter is an effective summary for the reader. Genre and style, whether the register, tone and use of abbreviations are appropriate for the reader. Organisation and layout, whether the letter is organised and well laid out for the reader. And language, whether the accuracy of the grammar, vocabulary, spelling and punctuation communicates the necessary information to the reader. There's a total possible score of 38. Why not watch our writing guides for an in-depth look at how to score well for each criterion? Now, the OET speaking subtest is divided into 3 sections, and again it's profession specific. The first part is an unassessed warm-up. The interlocutor will ask you some questions about yourself and your job. For example, Why did you choose your profession? What do you like most about it, etc. It's a little bit like the introduction part in the IELTS. This is your chance to familiarise yourself with the interlocutor's voice and become more comfortable in general. We all know exams are not the nicest situation to find yourselves in. This is an opportunity to relax a little bit. This part is not assessed. Speaking part 2 is the first role play. You'll be given a task card with background information and a set of instructions. You have 3 minutes to plan and prepare, and you can make notes during this time and even ask questions, such as what the patient's name is. The interlocutor will tell you when the role play will start, you play yourself, and the interlocutor will play the patient or carer. This role play will last for 5 minutes, after which time you'll be stopped. And the thing to remember is that the interlocutor is not an assessor. They're just playing the part of the carer or patient. Your role play will be recorded and sent to Australia, where it will be double marked by professional examiners. The third part of the OET speaking subtest is another role play, and the whole process is repeated. You get another task card, another 3 minutes to prepare, and another 5 minutes to carry out the role play. The situation will be different, but the interlocutor will be the same, although they'll take the role of another patient or carer. Now, how is the OET speaking assessed? This time, the criteria is split into 2 categories: linguistic and communication. The linguistic criteria looks at intelligibility, the impact of your pronunciation, intonation, and accent on how clearly your listener can hear and understand what you're saying. Fluency, the impact of the speed and smoothness of your speech on your listener's understanding. Appropriateness of language, the impact of your language tone and professionalism on your listener's understanding and comfort. And resources of grammar and expression, of your level of grammatical accuracy and vocabulary choices on your listener's understanding. The second part is the clinical communication criteria. This is looking more at soft skills. These include relationship building, the impact of your choice of opening to the conversation and demonstration of empathy and respect on your listener's comfort, understanding and incorporating the patient's perspective, the impact of how fully you involve the patient in your conversation on your listener's understanding and comfort, providing structure, the impact of how you organise the information you provide and introduce new topics for discussion on your listener's understanding, information gathering, the type of questions you ask and how you listen to the responses, and information giving, the impact of how you provide information and check this information is being understood. Watch our videos on the speaking subtest to find out more. Thanks for watching. I hope this has given you a little insight into the OET. If you like our videos, don't forget to press like, share them with a friend or colleague, and subscribe to us so you can always keep up to date with our latest videos. Thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye bye.